All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Food Entrepreneur Spotlight video series by Cast Iron. I am Anna Sheena Walsh, the head of marketing at Cast Iron, and I'm so excited for our guest today. I have Sarah Niesyty with me here. I cannot wait for you to hear about her business and about her story. So thank you so much for being with us, Sarah.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Amazing. Okay, well, let's just start. Can you just tell our audience a little bit about yourself, your name, your role, your business, and what you sell?
Okay, my name is Sarah Niesyty. I am the owner of Cookies by Sarah. So I do it all. I do the marketing, I do the baking, I do the decorating, the photography, you name it, I do it. A little bit about me: before Cookies, I was a teacher of the deaf and hard of hearing for 6 years.
Wow.
This past June, I left the classroom to pursue baking full time. It allows me to have a more flexible schedule with my daughter, and I'm home all day. So when she needs me, or vice versa, I'm here. So
Amazing. Can you tell me a little bit, where do you sell?
So I sell out of Tampa, Florida. I am located near the Tampa Zoo, actually.
Okay, amazing.
I moved down to Florida a year and a half ago for the warm weather, and started my business almost as soon as I moved.
Well, that leads me to my next question, which is amazing. I'm also a new resident of Florida and have been loving it.
Okay.
But how did you get started? I know you said you moved, you were a teacher, which was, such an admirable thing that you did. How did you transition from being in the classroom to selling cookies in Florida?
Well, I started Cookies back when I lived in New York. I needed cookies for an event, and it was kind of last minute because that's kind of how I roll. And I figured it couldn't be too hard to learn. So I took it upon myself to scour Pinterest and learn the basics. And from then on, I just started making them for my family, my students, and people asked a lot if I sold them. And I was like, nah, not really. So when I decided to move, I decided maybe now was a good time to start selling. Started an Instagram account. I just started taking pictures, and my business kind of took off from there. I solely built my business on Instagram once I moved. I started Cookies in 2019, and then I moved in 2021. So
amazing. And those people that were reaching out to you about buying those first cookies, were they your friends? Were they, your students' parents? How did you get those first few customers, and how did you make that leap for yourself where you were comfortable charging for the value you were providing?
When I first started, my first few customers were actually, they weren't even my customers because I wasn't selling then, but they were the teachers that I'd worked with in the various schools. And then once I moved, my boyfriend pushed me a lot to start selling. So I wasn't very comfortable charging. So I started with a very low, like, this is my standard price. And then as I got more comfortable with my skills and I learned more, I started charging more. But honestly, my first few customers, they had found me on Instagram just through interacting, and they took a chance on me. And I'm forever grateful for those who did take that chance, because I wouldn't be where I am today without them.
Oh, I love that. And we love a supportive partner that pushes you to follow your dreams. So that's amazing.
He's the one that basically told me, if you want to quit teaching, go for it, because I support you. But that's exactly what I did.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so you were getting your first customers, some of your coworkers, people finding you on Instagram. We obviously know you through Cast Iron. We know that you're a very successful business owner. So can you walk our audience a little bit through how you went from charging very little, a few inbound people, to where you are today? How did you grow?
I feel like that's a very tricky question. Sometimes I feel like I just got lucky, but I feel like my daughter and my boyfriend will tell you I spent countless of hours on my phone, on Instagram, making sure that I was, posting daily, following people, interacting, really focusing on growing my Instagram to gain those followers. I'm just like sitting here thinking about all the hours I've put into it. but it really was. It was like a full-time job on top of everything else I was doing. And it all paid off. I found cast iron, I want to say in January of this year, through a Facebook group that I'm a part of. And the big thing was they'll set it up for you. It's easy. And I was looking for a website to drive traffic to, because I was taking all my orders through Instagram Messenger and Venmo. And it was just, I look back and I just think how unprofessional it was. So Cast Iron kind of swooped in and they gave me all the tools to have this professional like website, and they did a lot of the back work. And I now take all my orders through Cast Iron, and it's amazing.
Well, we love to hear that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to hear that. And I mean, I think it's so interesting and amazing hearing your story, especially the support you have around you, pushing you to follow your dreams and have faith in yourself, and probably charge a little bit more for the value you're providing, all of these amazing things. And one thing that we hear all the time at Cast Iron is that people really want to do this. They want to have a skill, use that to build a life, be excited about their day-to-day, be home with their kids, and be able to balance their home life and their career. So as someone that's done it and done it very successful,y what advice would you have for somebody that wants to make that plunge?
I just realized I never answered the question about how I started charging more. So can I answer that real quick, and then I'll go back and answer that question?
Of course.
Okay. So I started charging more when the amount of orders that started coming in was more than I could handle. Like, I think I started out doing like $45, $50 a dozen. And between working full time and my daughter's soccer schedule and just trying to be present with her as much as I could, I felt like I had absolutely no free time. And I was trying to take on all the orders I could because I was like getting my name out there. And gradually I was like, okay, I'm going to jump it to $55 a dozen. Then I'm going to jump it another $5. And now I'm where I'm at today, and I'm at 70. And there are still some weeks where I am like insanely busy. So that is how I slowly and gradually increase my prices.
So for people that want to take a plunge into starting their own food business, maybe leaving a job they don't love, or they want to be home with their kids, what advice would you have to get started?
My advice for someone looking to follow their dreams and maybe start a business is to just do it. If you don't start or you don't try, you're never going to know if you can actually do it. I feel like I've run the gamut of different businesses throughout the last, 11 years. But find something you're passionate about, find something you enjoy doing, and honestly, just start. It takes time. It's not an overnight success. Like, you're not just going to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh my God, this is so successful. Like, I still don't feel like myself I'm successful, and I'm working every day to try and become what I see as the version of success. So it looks different for everybody.
Love it. No, I think it's really good advice. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle, honestly, is that first step and having enough confidence and faith in themselves to do it. So it's really amazing to hear your story and the organic growth that came there, which is put your work out into the world, charge a few people, and keep going, which is amazing.
Yep, have people share. I think people they start a business and they're like, this is going to be so great, and they put in a little bit of work. They don't see immediate like success or gratification, and I've fallen victim to that myself, and they just give up. It's not easy. If it's easy, everybody would do it. You really have to be dedicated. You have to have like a certain grit and determination, and know that this is what you want, and then be able to follow it, because it's not for the weak and it's not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of tears that go into running your own business.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Well, obviously we know you at Cast Iron, and we know how successful you are. And it's amazing to hear that you have even bigger dreams. So we're excited to follow along for sure. And then, so that brings us to the end of our long form questions. At the end, we do something called a lightning round, where I'm going to ask few quick questions, rapid fire, and then we ask that you just give like very quick answers, 1-2 words, maybe a sentence, go through really quick, and that'll end our interview. Does that sound okay?
Sounds great.
All right, I'm going to bring up my notebook to make sure I ask correctly and quickly. So, okay, Sarah, first question. What is your favorite resource to learn more about how to run your business or how to create better products?
Sugar cookie marketing on Facebook there. Like, I just feel like I am one with them all the time. That was not a very short answer, but that is, that's them. Sugar cookie marketing.
So team, look up sugar cookie marketing if this is the business.
Love
it. Okay. Other business owners that you admire.
Oh, there's quite a few. Bakery Tico is one that I've been following. She does t-shirts. And she's grown like tremendously lately.
Perfect. What in your life or business are you most proud of?
Taking the plunge, I guess.
Love it.
I'm here, so.
Yes,
taking the plunge.
Successful. Love it. Okay, and then sharing the love. Who else should be spotlighted on this series? It is not cast iron specific, so any business owner that you would like to learn more about.
I don't know where she's out of, but she's called Katie the Cookie Lady.
Okay.
She's in Michigan.
Amazing. Okay, well, we will absolutely reach out to her, see if she's open to be on the series, and hopefully share her story with you and others.
All right, awesome.
Well, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. And the audience appreciates it. Thank you for sharing your story and all of your great advice. And we are so happy to have you.
Thank you for having me.